You know, Chinese people are the only people I know that actually do kung fu while they work. What up, y'all? It's the Black Critic Guy, and today I'm here to review the film Ip Man, starring Donnie Yen, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed this movie. So the basic premise of Ip Man is it chronicles the life of Ip Man, who is this renowned martial artist who practices the form of martial arts called Wing Chun. I hope I pronounced that right. And it basically takes place in the World War II era where the Japanese have taken over all of China, and Ip Man, faced by this foreign threat, stands up for not only himself, but his entire country. Now, I was recommended to watch this movie by one of my subscribers, Filipino983. Repping for the Filipinos. I love it. And like I said, I got a kick out of this movie. It was non-stop entertainment throughout. Now, if anybody knows me, they know I love action kung fu movies. They're probably my favorite movies to watch. I just love how the action scenes look where they're doing all their moves. It looks all well choreographed and like awesome. And this is some of the best choreographed action scenes I've seen in a movie in a while. I mean, the last one I saw was The Raid, and that one just blew me away. This one too, it just blows me away. I mean, Ip Man is such a badass. One thing that I really liked about the character of Ip Man is he's always so composed when he's about to fight. Like he never breaks concentration. He just looks at his target. That's what I need to do. Let's do this. I mean, he was just as calm as the ocean and as steady and gentle as the wind. I mean, that guy was composed. A bomb would have exploded and he wouldn't move an inch. Those are one of the hardest opponents to fight, when they're just steady and calm and analyzing every single movement you're doing. I mean, those guys are hard to beat, and they're awesome to watch. And I really like Donnie Yen as Ip Man. I mean, I really felt like he embodied the character. His facial tones, I mean, when he was serious, he was serious. When he was smiling, he was smiling. You can really tell he put a lot of emotion in this character, and he did a really phenomenal job. As for the story was very decent, albeit we've all seen stories like this before. It's just how it's handled is handled very well. And I really liked how they portrayed Ip Man as a very patriotic Chinese man. He will not bow down to the Japanese. He'd rather die in a ditch somewhere before he even eats a grain of rice that they give him. He's like, nope, I'm not taking nothing from those Japanese. They can suck my... Probably didn't say that, but it was close to those lines. As for the supporting characters, they all did a pretty good job. I like the bonds and chemistry between all characters. And there was this one character who was the translator for the Japanese. And when Ip Man looked at him and he's like, "You traitor," you could just look at the shock in his face, like he was just demoralized by this comment by his master. And you could tell by the look in his face that his soul was just broken into two when his master called him a traitor. And I understand where he's coming from. He's not a traitor for the sake of being a traitor and rooting for the other side. He was trying to take care of his family. I mean, if put in a situation like that, some people would have done the same thing. Also, the main antagonist for this movie, General Miura, that guy was menacing. Like, dude, that guy meant business. I mean, his presence alone was menacing enough. And when he jumped into the fray, man, he jumped into the fray. He meant business. And you could tell by the look in his face, like, yo, I mean business, don't mess with me. But I gotta give it up to that actor. I mean, Japanese people can play one of the most menacing characters ever, every time. And I like the camera work in this movie. I mean, they stayed focused on the action scenes so you can actually see the blows. I like some of the cinematic shots. Like, there was this one shot where you see that general guy I talked about from Japan in a hallway. It was like that was a beautiful shot. I liked it. What I really would have loved to see in this movie was like the origin of how Ip Man became Ip Man, because when this movie started, he was already an established like martial artist. No one wanted to mess with him. He was that powerful. But I really would have loved to see his backstory, which was never really highlighted in this movie. Like, he was just, oh, I'm here, I'm awesome. I really would have loved to see more of the family dynamic in this movie. I mean, they played it off very well. I just felt like they didn't play it off enough. The biggest problem I had with this movie was actually the dubbing of the movie. Now, it wasn't dubbed in English. It was just the Chinese dub. It felt out of sync and kind of out of place or overpowered in some scenes, or it didn't feel like it had a big impact where it should have. And I felt like the dubbing could have used a little work. But overall, Ip Man was an exhilarating movie full of awesome action scenes, a great character of Ip Man, well-told story throughout, and I really enjoyed it. That's why I'm going to give this movie a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's a near perfect film, and if you love martial arts movies, you love kung fu movies, give this one a watch. But anyway, what did you guys think of this movie? Did you like it a lot? Did you hate it? Did you find it just bleh? And let me know, what is your favorite Chinese kung fu movie? Comment below and let me know. Anyway, I'm the Black Critic Guy, bridging the gap between movies and anime reviews. Till then, peace, YouTube.